Did you know that Salem has an island that makes up part of its own city? Well, if you answered no, don't feel bad because I didn't know either. In fact, I actually moved to the so-called island here in Salem, and it's called West Salem. Now, West Salem is the only neighborhood in Salem where you have to cross the Willamette River, cross over the bridge. Now, we're going to dive into a map tour of the West Salem neighborhood so you get a good feel of where things are and what it's like to live in West Salem. But the general overview and the feeling of why they call this an island is nobody wants to cross the bridge. For me, I don't really understand the big deal. I guess gets kind of some little bit of traffic on the bridge, and maybe it feels out of the way. But I know when I have friends and some family on the other side of the bridge in other parts of Salem, they kind of make it a big deal that they have to cross the bridge. And if you ask the locals here in Salem, crossing the bridge, it's kind of like a myth, a legend, a story that people know about in Salem. Now, when living in West Salem, we do have all of our amenities that I'm going to get to in this big map tour that we have going. You don't have to cross the bridge to get your necessities and your amenities, but to enjoy some of the entertainment, the big box shopping, like if you want to go into downtown, it's a 10-minute, 15-minute drive maybe to get over the bridge. If you want to go to the Willamette Town Center, which is the big shopping center, it's 20 minutes. If you want to go to the only Costco in Salem from West Salem, it's like 25 minutes. My favorite market, Trader Joe's, 20 minutes, which is in South Salem. If I wanted to go to the Kaiser Station for another big box shopping experience, it's 20 minutes crossing the bridge. If I want to go see a movie with my family, 20 minutes, or go see downtown, I'm there in 10 minutes. And if I want to get to I-5 freeway to go up to Portland or down south in Eugene, well, it's about 15, maybe 20 minutes to get there. So it's not a huge deal living in West Salem, and we're going to jump into a map to show you what it's like, but I wanted to first explain to you why people treat it like an island, and in this map, you're going to see why it kind of looks like an island. All right, we've got the map pulled up, and I'm going to pull up this tool, Circle West Salem, show you where there's a relation to the downtown area, and you can see that bridge I was referencing right there crossing the Willamette River. So you can see it kind of looks like an island, but it really isn't. But let's get deeper into West Salem and take a look of what life is like there and where things are and what you should know. First thing is letting you know when you get off the bridge, you've got three options. When you get off the bridge, you can veer right and head north onto Wallace Road. This is an important road to know because it is one of the main north-south roads in West Salem. It's also where most of your amenities are. We have the Highway 22. That'll have one exit, and that takes you right into the southern portion of West Salem. Or you can get dropped off onto Edgewater, which runs right along Highway 22 in the southern portion of West Salem. Now, we'll talk specifically about Wallace Road and then Edgewater and the rest of West Salem and why it's all important to know. So let's scroll out here let's move the map a little bit. And you can see I'll keep the bridge at the bottom for point of reference. But let's start with Wallace Road. I'm going to draw a line from Orchard Heights down to the bridge because this is the main section of Wallace Road you're going to be familiar with when living in West Salem. This is where a lot of your amenities are. This is where your fast casual dining is. You've got your supermarket here. One of your supermarkets, there's two in West Salem. This is Roth's. It's a little bit on the higher end, a little bit more pricier. And in this area, you have a Baskin Robbins, you've got a Starbucks, you've got a liquor store, there's a gym here, a shipping place, hair salon, and I'm probably missing something, but a little shopping area there, and a few banks and credit unions. Also in this area, along Glen Creek, off of Wallace, you have Wallace Marine Park. I'll drop a person in there just so you have an idea of what that park looks like. You also have B-roll popping up here. And it's a nice little park. Actually, it's a pretty big park. Right ahead of you is the playground that's newly constructed. Straight ahead here, they've got softball fields and baseball fields and soccer fields all around here. Showing you what porta potties, how interesting. And then over here, you got more soccer fields, big open space. And if you continue down here, this is where you can have boat access into the river and access along the edge of Wallace Marine Park in the Willamette River. Now I'm gonna pop out here just to show you. Here is to be aware of that we do have a homeless population here along the edge here. So a lot of people don't go traipsing along the river here because of the homeless population. But in my experience, when I'm frequenting the park, going to the playground, going to the softball games, baseball games, soccer games. I don't really encounter the issue, but just wanted you to be aware of that. I'll also extend the line here. This is where you're going to be the boat drop-off or sea-doos or whatever type of water sports you can access there through Wallace Marine Park. Now, I'm going to delete some of these lines here. You'll also want to know in this area here, you've got Courthouse Gym, which is a popular gym in the area. My family and I are members. Got indoor-outdoor pool, which is nice. All the gym equipment you can imagine. They've got classes there. They even have a daycare there, which is really nice if you have kids like I do. And you've got the public library, the West Salem small branch of the public library. It's only open a few days, but it is here. It's nice to have right in the community. And you've got the post office right along this street. Now over here, you've got a couple gas stations. Let me see if I can put a person there too, just to show you kind of what Wallace Road looks like. Oops, right there. Delete that. I just put you in the parking lot of somewhere. Where are we? There we go. Here's the Wallace Road. You've got a Walgreens. They've got shopping center in this area, and there we go. You've got a donut place. You've got dry cleaning. You've got a tanning salon. You've got AT&T store. You have Jamba Juice, and as I mentioned, you've got Walgreens. And we'll pop out of here back onto the map. And two of your three gas stations are along Wallace. Actually, all three gas stations are along Wallace Road, but two of them are right here by right along between Glen Creek and the bridge. You've got a lot of professional services here along Wallace Road: doctors' offices, insurance companies, attorneys, and more. You've got your urgent care here as well. Now we're going to talk about Edgewater. This street here, as I mentioned, running parallel to the Highway 22. And here you're going to find several restaurants. You'll find Momiji's Sushi, Annette's Casual Dining. You've got Back Porch right around here, which is a barbecue place. You've got Ring of Fire, which is a dessert spot. And you also have a really cool used bookstore right around in this area. You've got children's dental offices, again, more professional services along Edgewater. You've got a martial arts place as well. But the reason why Edgewater is important is because it runs into the other grocery store, which we have here in Salem. Scroll out here just a little bit. In this area right here, Safeway. That's the other supermarket, not as high end as Ross, but that's great because we need both options. And then I'm going to drop a person in there so you can see what that shopping center looks like right here. Let's see if I can do it. Am I going to do it? Right. I missed it. Oh, there it is. Got us in the shopping center. Okay, so there's Safeway. They've got a Starbucks in there. You've got a Dollar Tree. You've got a haircut. You've got a bar. And you keep going down. You got Nancy Joe's, which is a burger joint. A couple banks. You got Wallery's Pizza right here, which is a very popular pizza joint in West Salem. I'm going to take you across the road because the other shopping area is across the way, which right about there. This is where your fireworks are going to be too. So for July 4th, one of your fireworks tents is going to be there. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy here. Trying to get in to show you the other shopping center along Edgewater, just to show you what it's like. Urban Grange, which is a very popular coffee place in West Salem. I love going there. They got great pastries as well. Got Vision Care, another pizza place, and more professional services. You got another martial arts studio as well. So that's kind of what the shopping centers look along Edgewater. And so this is where most of your amenities are going to be when living in West Salem. They're going to be along Wallace Road and Edgewater on the south. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fein with the Real Estate Dads, local real estate agent right here in Salem. If you're thinking about making that move, make sure you reach out to my team and I at the contact information popping up below. My family and I relocated here, so I understand what that's like, and I love helping people and families that are making that same type of move. If you like what you see, hit the like button so the video gets out to more people like yourselves thinking about making the move. Hit the subscribe button to get more videos, and comment below. Love to hear your questions about West Salem, Love to hear what you think about West Salem as we go through this video. Now I want to talk about this residential neighborhood in the southern portion of West Salem. We call it the Flats because really it is the only flat section of residential living in West Salem, right around here. They're numbered streets, so it's easy to remember. What the cool thing about living in this area is that you're right along Edgewater and really close to Wallace. So you're like 5 minutes or less to get to all of your amenities, anything that you would need when living in West Salem. Now the homes here is going to be one of the more least expensive areas when living in West Salem. The homes tend to be smaller. They tend to be older. They also have the most character, in my opinion. A lot of craftsman style and bungalow homes. But a lot of the homes do need some work. And as more people are buying into this area, they are renovating and revitalizing this neighborhood and the homes around here. But just be aware, if you don't want hillside living, this is really your only option when living in West Salem. It's also your least expensive option. I also want to mention there's this industrial area right about here next to the flat area and off of Wallace and Edgewater. Just to be aware of, you got a lot of industrial spots here. And you also have a couple restaurants. You've got Zika Brewing in West Salem. You've got Little Lois, which is a popular sandwich place. If you're into sports, they've got Capital City Sports as the batting cages. They've got indoor fielding, which they do coaching there. My son's a part of that. We really enjoy it. And I wanted to make reference here. Let me see. We have 2 middle schools in West Salem that you should be aware of. One being right here, Walker Middle School. And this is also important because if you are into sports like our family is, this is where the West Salem Little League also plays its games. So you'll get real familiar with this middle school area and this little section here in West Salem. I'm going to scroll back out because I think it's important when you live in a neighborhood or you're considering a neighborhood, knowing where the main streets are and what to expect when driving on those roads and where they take you. Now, again, we chose West Salem, my family and I, because we do love the idea of being away from the rest of the city, yet really close to everything that we need, amenities-wise and day-to-day living-wise, all here in West Salem. You do not have to cross the bridge, which is really nice, but to get more of our entertainment, we do cross the bridge. So 20 minutes away from everything, 25 minutes away from everything is not a big deal to us. For us, it's totally worth being in the West Salem neighborhood. And let's get into some streets going east and west. Eola Drive is one you're going to definitely be aware of when you're living in the more southern section of West Salem. These homes here, definitely hillside property. I'm kind of going to scribble here, right about there. These tend to be a little bit older. So the further south you are in West Salem, the homes tend to be a little bit older. The more north you go, you'll run into more newer construction. Also, the further west you go, you're going to find a little bit newer construction homes. So let's get rid of those lines there, and let's just talk about Eola again. So this takes you from Edgewater, kind of that Safeway shopping district area, into the neighborhoods. And so easy access. You just shoot down Eola Road, and it pops you. You can actually jump onto Highway 22 from here and head over the bridge, or head into some of your shopping along Edgewater. The other one you're going to want to be aware of is Glen Creek Road. This one takes you right into the amenities area of West Salem along Wallace Road. And this kind of cuts right through the middle of West Salem. Now, when you're living north of Glen Creek, the homes, they tend to get a little bit larger and in general are more newly built than this section between south of Glen Creek and north of Eola. Now, I will say, if you want more of that kind of forest feel, old growth trees, old growth neighborhoods, then this section is going to be what you're looking for. It's really cool. A lot of windy roads, hillside property, a lot of beautiful trees, some really cool views from that area. Let me get rid of those lines again. Put the streets back in. There we go. The other east-west street, Orchard Heights Road. This is a big one too, because this also connects you to Wallace Road. And it's important to know because there's a few things, a few places here that you want to know when living in West Salem. Notably, Orchard Heights Park, which is right in the middle of West Salem. We go there frequently. They got a nice little playground there, off-leash dog park. It is smaller, but it is nice to have. Little walking trails along the creek in there. Pickleball courts, tennis courts, basketball courts, soccer fields. A really nice spot. You also have Chandler Nature Reserve right there, walking trails right inside of a little neighborhood and community as well. Orchard Heights also connects you into West Salem High School, which is the only high school we have in West Salem. It covers it covers the whole area, covers the whole neighborhood. So every kid that lives in West Salem that's going to go to a public school, that would be your home school. And then the second middle school, Straub Middle School, will be off of Orchard Heights as well. And this would be the middle school for people living in the more northern sections of West Salem. The other street to be aware of is Dokes Ferry. This is the other major north-south street running along here on the eastern portion of West Salem. There's it's all residential here. There's no commercial spots here. Remember, all your shopping is going to be along Edgewater and Wallace Road. Casual dining along Wallace Road, fast food along Wallace Road, and so this street is mainly to get up north and south if you're on the back end or the east side of West Salem. And now what we're going to do is we're going to scroll up a little bit because there's a couple more streets, areas you should be aware of. The next one is Brush College. It's a little bit lesser traveled street, but it's good to know because if you live in the northern sections of West Salem, you'll be on Brush College probably often connecting to Dokes Ferry to kind of get around maybe some of the traffic that's happening on Wallace Road because it does back up to Wallace Road. I'll get into that detail in a minute. But Brush College here, this is also takes you into the countryside and the farmland in West Salem, which I'll talk about here in a minute. Get rid of these lines. Now, I also want to note Salem Town. So if you are looking for retirement or if you've got family that's looking to retire and they want West Salem, it's a nice golf course community, single-story homes, lots of homes, beautiful neighborhood, and well manicured, really quiet and away from it all, but easy access. You just shoot down Wallace Road and you're back into where all your amenities are needed. So again, if you're retiring, you're close to anything that you would want and need. And let's scroll in just a little bit because I also want to make note Wallace Road has Checkpoint 221, which is the newest food pod area in Salem. We have 4 of them in all of Salem. This is the newest one. It has indoor-outdoor eating, which is awesome. We got 15 food pods or food carts. My family love this. When we can't figure out or come to an agreement of what we all want to eat, we come here and we get to choose whatever each of us want. And indoor, they've got a full bar, lots of tables. They got TV screens playing sports all the time. And they have live entertainment here, music, some little bit of small theater. I don't want to say theater, but like one-man, two-man play type things. Game nights, trivia nights, and a really fun place to go. I'm glad they opened up here. A lot of people in West Salem take advantage of that. I want to stick with talking about Wallace Road just a little bit more because people do talk about traffic getting in and out of West Salem, and although I think it's super light traffic because I moved here from a large city, so traffic to me, this is nothing, but it could add 5-10 minutes to your commute if it's your normal traffic. However, if the bridge is shut down or if there's something major happening on Wallace Road, you could be stuck a lot longer. And I'm going to, scroll up here. Right about here is where you're going to find most of your traffic. Right around 4:15 for about a couple of hours, you're going to see traffic trying to getting out of West Salem over the bridge. And it's going to happen. It's less so during school, during summer break. There's less traffic, but this is where you're going to hit it. Now, there are cool little cut-throughs that I take advantage of. Go along Hope Street, and then eventually you can either drop back down Orchard Heights, although Orchard Heights can get pretty backed up, as well as Glen Creek can get pretty backed up during traffic if people are trying to get onto Wallace Road. What I'd like to do is just kind of cut across some of these streets going into kind of the central part of West Salem, and that eventually is going to drop me down into where I connect to the 22 right here. So I go through some of these hill streets, windy streets, and cut through, hit Highway 22, get on, skip all that traffic, and head over the bridge. Kind of a pro trip when living in West Salem. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about neighborhoods. Let me scroll out here. There we go. Oh, you know what? General overview. I want to show you something real quick. Cool thing about West Salem is all of this green area, this is all countryside, farmland, open space, and more importantly, this is where the Willamette wine country is. And it's beautiful here. In fact, some wineries are connected to some of the neighborhoods. I can walk to a winery in the neighborhood that I live in, and you're really just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, at most 15 minutes out into all of this area here, which is just winery after winery, vineyard after vineyard. And it's just a great spot. If you're into wine or love that type of lifestyle, then West Salem is definitely going to be for you. And if you're not, it's just nice to drive through these areas because it is beautiful countryside. So I wanted to point that out to you. Let me scroll back. Ooh, get rid of that circle. If you are looking for new construction is rare in West Salem. But I'm going to point out a specific area here. Right here. Right off of Michigan City Lane, off of Wallace Road. You've got new construction here being built. You've got about 40 homes or so being built right now. But in general, if you want newer construction, this whole area is more newly built. Let me see, something like that. A lot of newer homes built 2020 and newer right in this area. And so if that is something that's important to you, just know that you're going to be in the most northern portion of West Salem. So it will take you a little bit longer to get to the bridge to the rest of Salem. But for us, it was worth being in these areas. We love it. Again, being away from it all. I see cows and horses and farmland on my way home every day, and I love it. And I'm really close to all the amenities I need. Now, as I mentioned, let me scroll out here just a little bit. The further north you are in the area, north and east tend to be bigger homes and larger lots and bigger views. And so again, with the hillside property, if that's not something you like, it does make it challenging. You know, when you have kids and they want to play ball outside or run around, it can be a little bit challenging, but we make it work, and there's lots of great areas that they can play in the neighborhood. But more importantly for us, it's the privacy, it's the views, it's the lot sizes, and it's just the home sizes. We love the idea of not living in a gridded area. We love the twists and the turns. It kind of, again, makes you feel like you're just a little bit away from it all. I also should note that one of the bonuses of living in West Salem, I don't know, maybe you consider it maybe a bonus or maybe you don't, but when it does snow here a couple times out of the year in West Salem in the hill areas, the snow kind of tends to stick, and it's kind of nice because the kids can jump out, sled around the neighborhood, and because they have hills, you have built-in sledding right in your neighborhood that you can take advantage of. If you want a more detailed tour of West Salem, make sure you check out my driving tour of West Salem. It's a longer video, but I jump in the car, I travel around all throughout West Salem, showing you the ins and outs of everywhere in this that we talked about in this map. It's a great video that you should definitely take a look at. It'll definitely give you all the details you're looking for. If you're thinking about making that move to Salem and West Salem looks appealing to you, or any parts of Salem look appealing to you, reach out to my team and I at the contact information popping up or in the description. If you like the video, click the like button, get it out to more people like yourselves looking to move to Salem. Hit the subscribe button, comment below, like to know if you have any questions or what you think about West Salem after looking at this map video.